Ahoy! Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another Acting on Instinct. Today's video is a little different. To celebrate global launch, we're addressing how to best approach the game as a new player. Now, I'm fairly active on the Rivals Discord, subreddit, and on Twitter, and I've noticed a trend of the same questions being asked. As such, this video is going to cover a lot of different points, as I really wanted to cover as many of these questions and respond to these difficulties as I could. So let's jump right in no particular order, to 10 tips to being a better commander. Number 1, own your progress. Okay, having said they're in no particular order, this is technically the most important. It's true in any competitive game, but especially true here. If you lose a game, don't blame a difference in levels, or supposedly cheap tactics, or just consigning yourself to the old, my opponent was better. These are things you can't change, so it's pointless to worry about them. Look back over the replay at how you played that match. Look at what you did well, and consider what you could have done better. Find ways to improve yourself constantly. Own those failures. Own that progress, and you'll be able to own your victories too. Number 2, remember the objective. All too often I watch players desperately trying to kill a particular enemy unit, whether it's the enemy harvester, or trying to get that final hit on a titan, and neglect to control the pads and lose a missile. The nukes are usually your biggest priority in a match, and forgetting this can be fatal. Number 3, harvesters are mobile. Remember that you can command your harvesters. Sure, they naturally roll to the closest Tiberium field, but sometimes that field may be open to attack. If your harvesters are under attack, move them through friendly units to safety until the coast is clear to continue harvesting, or at least until you have your defense under control. Number 4, learn to body block. Whilst you can move through your own units, you cannot pass through enemy ones, with the exception of flying units, of course. In the last seconds before a missile goes off, you can run a fast-moving unit backward and forward across 2 tiles to stop an opposing unit passing to contest. If you're lucky enough to take out an enemy harvester, you can sometimes even be particularly annoying and body block their replacement harvester, ever making it back to Tiberium fields, further stymieing their economy. Number 5, know all your counters. Now this one may seem obvious, but don't just focus on the most obvious counters. Everyone knows that laser squads take out predator tanks, but learn other counters too. As an example, not attack bikes are surprisingly effective against small infantry squads like snipers or shockwave troopers, and, surprisingly, 2 talons will also take out an attack bike squadron. Number 6, learn to micro. Being able to micromanage your units is vital in Rivals. This isn't like other games where you just send the unit out and watch it do its thing. Here, you have full control. If your thumbs aren't tapping the screen, you're probably missing opportunities. Learn to keep those raider units moving, whilst redirecting other units to where they're needed. Learn to tap out a better route for your units, rather than just the as the crow flies A to B. Stealth tanks, for example, will be one-shot if they face rush a Kodiak, but if they can move around to behind it, well, that's a very different story. Number 7, be ruthless. Now, I mentioned this in my squad mechanics video, but it's important to know when a unit is useful and when it's time to let it go. Every unit you have on the field increases your population cap, and so it's vital to know when you should leave a heavily damaged unit on the field, or when you should let it die to bring out something more useful. Now, this is especially true for squads, where diminished size means diminished effect. Also, in a frenzied firefight, every tap can count, so it's important to know when it's not worth the time it would take to micro a unit to safety. Number 8, learn to read maps. Each and every map in Rivals is unique in how you should approach it. Look at where the Tiberium fields are and consider how safe they may be. How can you best defend your harvesters from attack whilst also contesting the pads? Are there choke points that you can control to remove your opponent's ability to gang up on you? Now, I'll be doing a full video on this soon, but learning to read the maps and understanding how they affect your decisions in the game will be make or break in tighter fights. Number 9. Strength in Unity. Join an alliance. Sure, you can make the climb alone, but you're only making it more difficult on yourself. Head to Reddit, or to the Rivals Discord, and find yourself an alliance. These guys and girls are invaluable in giving advice and sharing their replays, and you can request cards for units you need, and donate cards for units you don't. You can also fight friendly matches to try out new deck ideas without the risk of losing medals. Number 10. Become a TV addict. You can find CNC TV in the Network tab. Here you can search for replays by league and matchup. Look at what other players in your league are running and how they are running it. You might get a few ideas on what's working, or you could get an insight into how to counter the more common decks and plays. CNC TV is one of your most powerful tools in your arsenal. Use it. So there we have it, 10 tips to improve your abilities as a commander. Be sure to check out the other videos in this Acting on Instinct series where we focus on various aspects of the game in depth to make you a better commander. Also check out the Intel Report series where we take an in-depth look at each unit one by one to familiarise ourselves with their strengths, weaknesses, and we give tips for their usage. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up, as this helps me know what content you're enjoying and what's useful to you. Be sure too to subscribe to be the first to know when new content goes live and to keep on top of your game. Happy sailing, and I'll see you on the battlefield.